Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Cities Skylines. I certainly hope you're having a good one because I am excited to be back, and this is a weird one. It's been a little while since I played Cities Skylines for an episode and then kept playing it for hours immediately after that episode, and then thought, you know what, I'm gonna record another one. I usually record one with maybe an hour before and an hour after, but it's been like 6 hours for me since I recorded the last episode, and I've just been dabbling ever since, and I'm kind of happy with the results of some of the dabbling. In the last episode, you might remember we started working on a new little village. Well, you're looking at it, and it obviously looks, at least I hope obviously, looks a little different to how we left it in the last episode. So you might remember that I mentioned how I wanted to leave space between a lot of the houses and how I wanted this to just have a bunch of low density housing in here, and it does still have that low density housing, but what I've actually done is I've taken out all of the zoning, and that's because I forgot that I installed a mod, which I can show you what it's called here. It's plot growables, and this is something that was suggested to me on Twitter and on Discord maybe a month ago, and I did install it when it was suggested. I've just not used it yet, and what it does is it lets me use the search function here. I can search for something like residential, I can find these tiles, and I can just place them like that, and it will stay there because the building is automatically set to historic. So even if these level up, which this one, for example, is level 4, the buildings themselves are never going to change. They will always stay looking the way they are. So I thought to myself, okay, well, I can get my residential buildings all a little bit closer together. I can get them at different angles, and I can sort of make them follow these roads the way I would want them to. I can go and put some fences between them, put some trees around them, and I think it actually looks pretty cool. And that's something I kind of want to continue doing in this episode. So this episode's largely going to be focused on this little town, specifically this road back here, because I want to take this idea and I want to apply it to some commercial zoning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to take out this commercial zoning completely. We're going to go ahead and just bulldoze everything in here. We're going to take these parking lots out as well. We're going to go in and we're going to take out this bus stop there as well. And we're basically going to take these roads out too. And also the police station, and also whatever trees are in that area. Because I thought I wanted to experiment, essentially. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I wanted to experiment with sort of the format of these episodes, because the last couple of episodes I feel like I've done a lot of I've said the words, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and then I usually cut out the process of me doing the thing. For example, with some of these farms, I'm pretty sure I said, okay, we're going to build a farm and it's going to be cool, and then you would get a cut in the video and boom, the farm's done. So today I kind of want to show some of the process, and I kind of want to just chill and chat and just see what we do. I just want to relax a little bit and play some Cities Skylines, because that's what I've been doing for the last 8 hours, and it's really nice to be able to just kind of chill and play a near 6-year-old game for 8 hours and have no complaints. So anyway, let's go ahead and do a quick search for commercial right here, and we'll see what we can get for this area. We'll see what kind of buildings we have. So we have some eco-commercial buildings, which are way too small. I want a decent little size here. So that's a pretty good one. In fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to set out a palette is what we're going to do. We're going to set out a palette of buildings that we can use. And I'm going to just put it up here because it'll be nice and easily accessible. So let's use, I like that building. Good old Happy Weeds. That one's probably a little too small. That one's kind of interesting looking. They're all very standalone buildings, which I'm not sure I absolutely adore, but I'll make it work. I think that one might be a little weird as well, but again, we'll kind of make it work. That is an electric vehicle charging station, which is fair enough. That looks like sort of a little supermarket. That's another little public market there. We've got whatever that happens to be. Some of these are a little excessive. I think the ones with the grass on top might be a little bit silly looking. That, for example, might be a bit much, but we'll see what we end up with. I just want a nice selection of, wait, was it healthy weeds or happy weeds? It's healthy weeds. Okay. I might have gotten it confused with something else. Let's see. What are you? Oh, these are actually really interestingly shaped buildings. Let's extend this road a little bit and play with the idea of this palette of buildings that we're working with. So I like this one, which, this one's not too bad either, but it's a little bit too weird looking. That's a car showroom, which honestly might be too much, but I'm going to keep it anyway because I want to be able to see that it's there. That's going to have a crazy amount of grass on top of it, so we'll get rid of you. That's another healthy weeds store. That's a good looking store as well. And that's about the extent of commercial buildings before we get into the high density European ones. So I think this is about the palette of buildings that we're going to be playing with here to build up what I want to do. And I'm kind of okay with that. I'm not really too worried about it. We have these buildings as well, but these will do. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to just line this road with a bunch of commercial buildings, and I'm just going to make that kind of the city, not the city center, but the town center. So to start with, let's go ahead and grab you. And I'm just going to copy and paste all of these, and I'm going to just place them wherever I think they could go. In fact, you know what I want? I want the car showroom. I think that would be a really interesting start for this space, because if I put it in the right space, if I put it, say, here, it kind of gives it a nice, you know, really important space in the town. Yes, it's on a bit of a weird hill and all that, but I'm not too worried about it. And this is essentially what we're going to be doing today. We're just going to place a bunch of buildings and we're going to chill and play some city skylines, because again, I feel like everything I do these days is, oh, we're going to do this thing and then cut it out of the video. Oh, we're going to do this thing and cut it out of the video. And I don't know, man. I've been doing a lot of thinking about YouTube lately and what I want to do with the channel in 2021. I almost said 2020. I've been thinking about what I want to do with the channel in 2021, and I think, you know, I've said it before. I'm pretty sure I've always talked about how I want to do different things, or I want to change this, or I want to change that. But I do, man, I do want to change a couple of things here and there. I do want to take the channel back to what it was about when I made it. Well, actually, no, I don't want to do that, because when I made the channel, it was a Guild Wars 2 channel, which I think I've talked about before, so I'll not go on too much about it. But yeah, this channel was originally dedicated to the MMO Guild Wars 2 when I made it, which I'm not sure how many people do know about that, but it absolutely was. It was a Guild Wars 2 channel, and to be honest, it had a little bit of success. It wasn't amazing, but I mean, you know what? It was. I'm not even gonna say it wasn't amazing, because that's gonna put people down that you know are trying to get somewhere. I had couple of hundred subscribers, and I had a few videos that were pulling 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views. And you know what? I am actually genuinely really proud of that, because I was doing something that I really enjoyed. I was doing editorial type videos. I was doing, God, what was I doing? I did quest guides is what I did. And I know if you don't play MMOs at all, you're going to be sitting thinking, what? Why was that? Like, that's popular? Yeah, it kind of was. It did pretty well at the time for a channel with, you know, a couple of hundred subscribers to be pulling, you know, 3,000, 4,000 viewers here and there. I was pretty proud of that, to be totally honest. So no, I stand by that little upstart YouTube channel with its Guild Wars 2 guides did all right for itself. So yeah, when I say I want to get back to doing what I started out doing, I certainly don't mean, hey, the channel's a Guild Wars 2 channel now, although that would be a twist. That would certainly be taking the channel back to where it started. But, that's not quite what I want to be doing. I guess what I mean by that, and I've said it before, I know. But I think what I mean by that is I want to go back to just sharing games, you know, and that is something I've said before, but I just want to go back to sharing games that I'm excited about. You know, it's, hey, this game's coming out, I'm kind of keen to play it. And I think part of that is with the new, I say new, but with my second YouTube channel that I've been running this last couple of months, which is youtube.com/DylanConflict, if you happen to be curious and feel like subscribing. That has honestly got me so happy because it's just a channel where I can post whatever I want, and whatever I want thus far has been Cyberpunk, but I can just post whatever and it's fine. It doesn't really matter if it does amazingly. I mean, the channel did get partnered. It is now part of the YouTube Partner Program, which is entirely down to the support that everyone has shown to the channel, and I am incredibly grateful for. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world if a video doesn't do amazing over there because of the support that's shown to this channel and has been shown to this channel. You know, I've talked about it before, and it's, you know, it's a YouTube cliche for YouTubers to get up and be like, you guys changed my life, but it's also very true. And I think, you know, it would be a disservice to this community and everyone that's supported this channel over the years to say anything other than that. You know, this channel has changed my life. This channel has given me opportunities I never thought I would have. So yeah, this channel has changed my life, and I am incredibly grateful for that. But I also, it gives me tremendous amounts of anxiety as well, to be totally honest, because I look at it and I think, man, what's the next thing? You know, what's the next, what's gonna be my thing for 2021? It's all well and good sitting around and saying I want to do, you know, take it back to what it was, but oh man, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm gonna be honest. I'm rambling a little bit, and I don't think I'm making too much sense. But yeah, that's my goal, man. I just want to be honest, I just want to get back to playing games, having some fun, not worrying about, oh, should I cut this bit out or cut that bit? I mean, cutting bits out of videos it makes sense in these this day and age. Completely unedited YouTube videos are not as common as they used to be, but I worry a little bit too much, I think, about the process in a video like Cities Skylines. Like this right here, this is fun to me, man. I gotta be honest, like manually placing these buildings, this could be a time lapse, I will admit, but manually placing these and seeing this sort of come together in the way that I want it to, looking like a proper little street and all that, I like it. I really do. I really enjoy this process. Let's grab you and start putting some buildings on the other side of the street here. Is this one that's going to work on a corner like this? I don't actually know if it will, but we'll give it a shot. We'll just throw it into this corner and see what we can do. And how does that look? You know what? That's actually not so bad. We are going to need to flatten it, but whatever. We'll just do that, and there we go. So we've got a nice little building at the corner, and it's got some signs at the side of it, which makes me think that a little parking lot in next to that might not be such a bad idea. I just need to remember what category it's in. That one. So a little parking lot like that, sort of right next to this building, is not a terrible idea, I don't think. And I think we can fill this space in with, you know what? I think some kind of little park thing. So let's go ahead and turn on angle snapping is on. So you to there, you to there, you to about there, and something like that. That's not actually the fence that I wanted for this. I'm going to be honest. I kind of wanted the park fence. So let's just upgrade this so that whatever trees I put in here are actually going to look, well, actually going to be visible is kind of what I want. So we'll do that eventually. We'll put some trees in there eventually. I just kind of want to get this street done here. And actually what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to put another section of path in here because I think that might be a pretty good idea. To bring you back to about there, that actually needs to kind of go in the opposite direction like that. And you need to go a bit like that. And then we'll just bring this together with Move It the way we have been doing. And that'll give us a little bit of room just alongside the parking lots there for, you know, this to kind of look like more of a road so that traffic can kind of get in here and the park gets a little bit of space. And I kind of like that. It also gives me space to start duplicating buildings because I think another nice big building like this could be pretty cool there. So we'll just go ahead and throw you about there. And I kind of like it. So let's just move and level to that height. And I think that looks okay. I think it looks all right. And it is going to mean that we need another one of these paths sort of coming back here, but doesn't have to be anything too crazy. We can just sort of have from there to about there. Bring you over a little bit. And it looks like trucks could, well, vans could maybe get back there. So that's fine by me. Okay. All right. This is coming together. Do I put this big building in is kind of the question. I think this one actually would be better. So we'll throw that in as well. Anyway, let's yeah, let's talking about the game and more rambling like I was doing, I guess. Yeah, man, I was saying about how, you know, I'm grateful for this and that, and it's so strange to think about because I've been talking to a lot of people recently about YouTube and what it means to me, because I've been talking to a lot of people recently about fame is what I've been talking to them about. I won't go into the context of it, but I've been talking to people about fame, and that sounds, oh, these buildings are disappearing. I don't know if I like that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I've been talking to people about fame and what it means to me, because fame is weird, right? To some people, and not in a pretentious way, but to some people, I am considered famous, right? And I don't mean that in a, I think of myself as being famous, because truth be told, I don't. I think I just play video games on the internet, right? That's it. That's what I do. I don't understand. For me, I don't see that as being fame worthy. And that's maybe just a simplification of what I do. I know that what I do is, it's whatever it is. I don't know what I do, to be completely honest. The more I think about it, the weirder it gets. And the more I talk about this and post, you know, pause about this fame conversation, the weirder this gets. The point that I'm making is, to me, and I'm not trying to be sickeningly humble or anything like that. I don't see what I do as anything particularly fame-worthy. So when I have people that are like, oh man, you're this YouTuber and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, man, just like when I join a Discord server, or when I hop in a Twitch chat, or I respond to someone's tweet, or I respond to their Discord message, and the reaction is like, oh my God, you actually responded. Yeah, I did. Like, why? I mean, I guess I know why that can often be strange to some people, I suppose, because I always hear about how YouTubers don't respond to messages, or they don't respond to tweets, or they don't interact with their, I don't even like using the word fans. I'm going to be honest. There's something, it just weirds me out, but I don't get that for me. You know, I have, and I will say that, don't get me wrong, if you've been with this channel for a while, you will know the various troubles I have had with YouTube comments and my issues with social media and my ability or lack thereof to deal with criticism and blah, 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 blah. We've been through a journey with this channel, I think it's fair to say. But at the same time, I don't ever want to be one of those guys that's like, no, I'm above my audience. I don't interact with those people. I don't want to be seen. I don't get that. And I don't get ego either. I used to. I will say I absolutely used to. I used to be for lack of a better word, I used to be a bit of a prick. You know, I look back on some of my old tweets and I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, who was I? Where did I get that ego or that nerve or whatever it might have been? But these days, I think, to be honest, I think it's part of just getting older. You know, I'm not old. I always joke about being old, but I'm 20. God, what age am I? I'm 27, right? I'm 27. I've grown up with the internet. I've seen the best and worst of it. And I've just gotten to this point where I'm just tired of drama and fighting. And I think that's part of, to bring this back to the point of this conversation, I think that's part of why I kind of just want to chill. I think that's part of why I kind of just want to get back to what I think is important for this channel and for me. And that's just chilling and having a good time and worrying less about drama and this and that and the other and whatever else it may be. And I also happen to really like how these buildings look when they're put together like that. So we're totally doing that, even though there's a weird gap between them. But yeah, I think this year is just going to be about having fun with the channel and having fun with gaming and having fun with, you know, sharing gaming with all of you and the way that I do and reading the comments and diving in there and actually talking with people, because to get to the point, the world's pretty isolated these days. I don't think there's any point in getting up on a high horse and being like, well, I'm a YouTuber. What? Even that, man. You know, I'm a YouTuber. So what? Everyone has a bloody YouTube channel. That's always been the thing as well. It's like, I'm a YouTuber. So what? You know? And that was always it. Everyone has a YouTube channel. It's not, I don't know what the point of this conversation is. I really don't. But this is what I've been doing. This has been me for the last few hours. I've been sitting, playing City Skylines, talking about YouTube, and sort of not making a lot of sense in my various complaints about YouTube. But it's, yeah, this has been what it is. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. This building here, I'm trying to figure out where it should go. I'm actually thinking there's a lot of healthy weeds on this street. Let's put it up here, just right next to these guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sort of connect them together or not, but I can certainly bring it forward a bit. And we could do something a bit like that, and I think that'll be okay. So let's level you to the same height as that building, which I think looks pretty good. And this is kind of coming together. So this is basically what I did with all these houses, was I placed them manually, and it gives me the exact shape that I want for everything, which I think is fantastic. So this needs more uneducated workers. We really probably shouldn't. So you guys are all educated. Interesting. Okay, we might have some issues here. These buildings may end up getting abandoned because of not having enough workers, which might be a little bit of a pickle. Can I, let's see, disable automatic level up, low land value complaint, too few services complaint. Interesting. I can't really disable the not enough workers complaint, which, fair enough. Okay, well, what else do we have to play with up here? What other buildings can we throw in here? Let's grab you, and we'll just throw you into somewhere. I'm thinking kind of over here could be a spot for this little building, something kind of like that, and then level it or raise it to the height of the building next to it, which actually kind of weird. So let's not do that, and let's put you somewhere else. Let's put you over here. We'll put you next to this building, next to good old healthy weeds. And I guess we'll put a park or something next to this, since it's kind of a really small building. Or some kind of plaza in front of it. If we push it back a little bit from the road, we could put some decorations in front of this building, make it look kind of interesting. But I think right about there is probably fine. Gives it a little bit of space. little bit of space around it as well, so we could put a path back there if we really wanted to and connect everything up, which I think would probably look kind of cool, to be totally honest. Although I'm gonna be honest as well, I think that looks a little bit silly. Let's move you down to this corner. I think down here might be a better spot for this this little building. So right about there, and we'll just get you to be the height of. So select you and object height there. Bulldoze you, and let's see if we've got any unique buildings we could put in here. We do have a hypermarket, but I think that's a bit silly. We do have the department store. I think that's a bit silly too. I don't know what else we really have. We have got some plazas. We got the Statue of Shopping, for example, which might be kind of cool. That might be something interesting to put back there, for example. Just a statue behind all of this. Put some, you know, maybe put some buildings around it or something like that. Probably not the most luxurious looking thing though, because we have this garage right. I knew that would start happening. Yeah, the buildings are going to start getting demolished because they don't have enough workers. We need uneducated workers. I'll tell you what we're going to do then. Let's go ahead and make this a district, and let's use the schools out policy, and let's hope that it applies fairly quickly, because if it doesn't, we're going to have a bit of a pickle here, because I'm placing these buildings. I really don't want them getting demolished, and I don't want to have to use a different mod. I really don't. I know there's one or two mods that'll kind of fix my issue here, but we're going to give this a shot. So policies, schools out. We'll prefer working over education. We'll do that. And I don't know what else we'll do. Let's expand this district across this entire little town though, because this town to me really shouldn't be super highly educated. That sounds worse than I mean it to. But I just mean in the sense of I just want them working. I don't want them all going off to university and whatnot. It's kind of meant to be a little working town. So hopefully the schools out policy kind of encourages them to, you know, stop all that there book learning and get themselves into the forest and start learning how to chop down damn tree. They think because they get some kind of fancy education that they's gonna get themselves out of this town, and I'm here to tell you that ain't gonna happen. They's gonna live here, and they's gonna work here, and they's gonna die here. That's the way it is, and whatever the hell we call in this town, because I ain't read the YouTube comments to understand what the name's gonna be. Because like I said, this episode's been recorded not long after the last one when we started building this town. And I'm gonna stop with that accent before it starts getting either A, more annoying, or B, slightly offensive. So I think B is possibly more likely on that as well. So, yeah. I think a little path back there is kind of cool though. And, you know what? I am going to just have this plaza here. Even if it is behind all of these buildings, I can put some parks there and I can make it look kind of maybe a little bit interesting. So plaza, actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that because the plaza is going to, it makes it no, this needs to be all buildings is what this needs to be. So I need to stop being so picky right now, and I need to go in and start putting some more buildings in here. So let's grab this guy and let's put it right in the corner. Bit of a weird looking building for the area, but right on the corner there. It's got some things on top of it, which I think look kind of silly, but whatever. We'll put another one over here next to good old healthy weeds. And we'll go and grab, let's see what else we have to play with. Another car showroom could be kind of interesting. We'll grab this guy and see what we can do with it, because I'm actually not so sure what this building is going to be or is going to do. I could sort of shove it into the building next to it to make it look a little bit like an extension of that building. I don't think that would be a terrible idea. Although looking at it, it looks a little bit weird. It definitely, maybe looks a little too weird. I'm thinking, let's see. What does it look like from back here? It looks a little too weird. So let's just move you down a little bit. And we're just going to have space between these buildings, and I guess that's going to be okay. So something like that. We have this little guy at the corner, which I'm okay with. I do kind of like that the buildings are getting a bit smaller there. A little strange looking, but whatever. What else have we got to play with? We have you. So we'll grab you and put you down here, which is another public market. Actually, right about here is probably a better spot for the little public market. So right there. And we'll get you to that height. And yeah, I actually kind of like how that looks there. I think that's a good little spot for it, although it is ever so slightly putting some concrete under some of those bushes there. So maybe just move it like this. So kind of on the corner, which I'm not totally against. I think that's fine. We can put, you know, benches and bushes and all that good stuff in there. And yeah, that nicely sort of follows that corner around. So I kind of realize that we're probably going to need to just run things until, you know, workers start going to these places. Also, we don't have a police station here anymore. Thinking about it, we should get one. And I'm thinking what we can do is we could probably make the police station part of this whole thing as well. So the police station is this building, which looking at it, I can probably rotate and press up against this building on the left here. Oh, this building right here, and kind of make it look decent. Alternatively, we put the police station back in its own space, which I'm actually not totally against doing. So bring this road back here and, you know, to about there, for example. Probably going to want to lower it slightly because it's a little raised up there. But what we can do is go ahead and say police station on this side, and then we'll sort of shuffle it around a little bit. So it's kind of there. We'll move you up a little bit as well. So it's like that. We're going to need, actually, you know what? We're not going to put bollards there because it's going to make it look like that's a road that leads, you know, into the back of these buildings for whatever reason, which I happen to really like. So that's kind of cool. And I'm wondering, does that mean I can get, I could probably get parking lots in there, and that makes me really happy. So let's try this. It does let me get parking lots in there, which does make me really happy. So a couple of parking lots there, a couple of buildings in here, maybe some service buildings. Is that maybe where we put the fire station instead of way down there? That might not be a terrible place for it. Although I think that fire station, yeah, it's a little bit big. I mean, this one's definitely smaller, but I don't think it matches as well as I want it to. Yeah, it looks a little out of place. What else could I put back there though? I guess recycling center. No, I don't think we're going to do that. What else have we got? What is this? Waste disposal. Ah, perfect. Yes, that's exactly what we need for this area. Okay. Yeah, somehow I don't think we're going to get too much back there in the way of recycling or much else, really. I'm not 100% sure what else I could put back there. So we'll just kind of leave it open. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to put back there. We'll figure it out. But let's go ahead and grab more buildings. Let's stop procrastinating, stop getting distracted, and we'll grab another one of these guys. Even though it's a little bit weird that we have two of these sort of car showroom type buildings, you know, right in our little town. It does happen, I suppose. It does happen. I have seen it. I've been through a couple of little towns in the UK and even here in Northern Ireland. You know, the little towns, not a huge population, that for some reason, you know, there's 2 or 3 car showrooms. They're usually towns that are on the way to somewhere. So it's usually on the way to an airport or on the way to the docks to get a boat to like Scotland or something like that. You'll find that kind of thing, but yeah, it's not entirely unheard of, I suppose. Now let's go ahead and put you about there. And let's see if I can just move this over a little bit. So something like that, I think, kind of works. And we'll just level you to that height. And I'm kind of okay with that. We got a little bit of grass around this building, so it keeps its plants And I'm thinking this entire stretch here is going to have to be smaller buildings. Well, maybe not. We could probably get 2 big buildings in there and then a couple of small buildings at the side. So let's go ahead and grab, what have we not done in a while? We don't have one of these guys on that lower road. So let's go ahead and put one of these guys on that lower road. And we'll do about there. And we'll just move it over slightly so it's not right on that building. But I think that looks all right. And I think we can raise you up to that height so you're properly on the road. And then we'll fill in this space, we'll fill in that space, and we'll get to it. And if you can't tell, that's the sign that there's going to be a cut in the video right about now. Okie dokie. I think this is probably enough manual building placing for the time being. I do want to put some around the sort of edges of all of this as well. But I'm not going to do that just yet because I do want to go in and I kind of want to decorate. So behind here, for example, we can go ahead and throw in a, you know, a little bit of fence here and there. We might actually want to just build this so it's 3 across. Oh, it's 2, but whatever. Like this, essentially. We'll go ahead and grab that. We'll copy it and we'll just throw it about there. And essentially grab you and drag you out a bit. Grab you and drag you out a bit. Maybe bring you back a little bit. So just back to about there. And that'll give us kind of a nice space to work with. I'm going to grab you again. I'm going to pause the game while I do this as well because I really don't trust that these buildings aren't going to start just removing themselves because of a lack of workers. But we're going to do the same in this corner here. Just like so. We're going to take you out and we'll go ahead and throw, let's see, something like that and something like that. And then we can kind of rotate this all around a little bit just to make my life a little easier. So you go to there, you come forward a little bit, and then we just need to move the segments. So you come out slightly and you come out slightly. And that looks fine by me and ready for a few trees. We do have this space here and this space here as well. So I wonder if I can just do these without needing to copy and paste anything. I think I probably can. We'll just make a bit of a triangle out of that space and then move it to fill it up really nicely. So something a bit like that, and then something that goes to about there. And that, you know, I think that works. And I'm wondering if I can get away with the same thing here. So if I do that kind of thing, move you to that spot, move you to about that spot, drag it out, and bring you over just a little bit. That actually looks pretty good to me. I kind of like that. Okay. Oh, these buildings are starting to all go again. Man, I gotta work that out. I really do. Let me grab you real quick and just put this thing back in. I really gotta work that out. Really gotta get people in here that can work and not complain about, or rather, I need to get uneducated workers is basically what I need to do. So we'll go ahead, we'll grab you and we'll say that height. And I think we had a healthy weeds on the corner there. So one of you guys need to go on the corner right here. So just like that. And we'll keep the game paused while we do the rest of this so the buildings don't just start, you know, disappearing everywhere. Let's grab you while we're at it though. And let's place one there. And then drag this out every which way to fill up this space as well. And while we do this, I guess I guess the rambling can slightly continue because it's been kind of nice, honestly. It feels like a long time since I've had a cities video where I've just kind of rambled, which if you're new around here, you might not be all too familiar with, but there's many a story I've told many a time in many a different Cities Skylines video. And if you stick around a little bit, I'm sure you'll hear all about certain stories about 6 times over, don't worry. But to come back to what I started talking about towards the beginning, to come back to talking about you know, recapturing what the channel's about and recapturing, you know, how the channel got its start and all that kind of stuff. I guess to say recapturing, it's weird to say, because to me, recapturing implies that something is lost, and I don't think anything's been lost. I mean, you know, people will tweet me and they will comment and they will say, hey, remember when your channel was growing? Remember when you weren't losing subscribers? And I'll be honest, on one hand, I can look at that and be a little bitter. And I'll poke fun from time to time. I absolutely will. I'm still as cynical and snarky as ever. Less cynical these days. I don't have as much time to be cynical, and I used to be so overly cynical to the point that it's infuriating to look back at old videos, and I think we've talked about that kind of recently. You know, I don't think it's any secret that the channel has certainly not grown as much in the last 2 years as it had in the years prior, and there are reasons for that. You know, there are videos in the channel talking about it. It's all largely down to my mental health being bad at times. So, and you know, that I'm not using that as an excuse. It's nothing like that. It's not me saying, oh, you know, you can't complain about the channel because my mental health. Oh. My mental health has not been good, but it's not an excuse. It's the explanation. It's why I've not been posting videos daily for years. Some days are worse than others, and that's just the reality of living with mental health conditions at times. Is some days will be good, some days will be bad, and sometimes you can't explain why one day is better than another. It's just kind of how it is. It sucks. It sucks, but you know, you get one good day a week. That's still one good day. You know, it might not be 7, but it's still 1. So you make do with the one good day that you get, and you make the most of it while it's a good day. And that's essentially what I do. So that's why, you know, the videos have been a little few and far between at times. But I guess what I'm trying to get at with regards to recapturing, or whatever phrase I might try to use, is I want the channel to be good this year. If it grows again, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's still going to be here. I'm still going to be here. Still going to have fun just playing games and hanging out. You know, I'm enjoying the Tropico stuff we've been doing recently. I've got my eyes on the new Prison Architect DLC, which is coming out towards the end of the month. And yeah, I'm just excited to keep doing what we're doing, you know, maybe try some different things. I mentioned that I wanted to do more face cam stuff this year. I said that on Twitter, so we might end up doing that, but we'll certainly see. Either way, I think this looks pretty decent for a little sort of village/town. It's dense, but it's also kind of small. It still has this space to be filled up, but I actually really like this. I'm actually really pleased with this. It's turned out exactly how I wanted it to. We've got all these commercial buildings. It's something kind of, oh man, this makes me want to go back and redo all of this. I'm not gonna lie, it does make me want to do that. I'm not gonna do that, but it makes me wanna. It really does. It makes me want to do it, but for the time being, I think we'll leave it as is. Either way, thanks for watching, everybody. It's been my absolute pleasure as always. Hopefully this video was at least somewhat interesting. I know it was largely just rambling, and I know it was a little nonsensical, and I know it was a bit of tedious building placing, but it's a nice little change of pace for me to kind of, you know, show you something that I've been really enjoying in Cities Skylines recently that I haven't been putting in the videos, because usually this kind of stuff gets cut out. So hopefully you had some fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it to some degree or other, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.